So something I was thinking about for today was when we are in these logistical times with the holiday season, with Thanksgiving and all the holidays that are coming up in a few weeks, and how we can cope with those. So, giving some time to think about how Thanksgiving went for you, if there was some things that went really well, and if there were other things that you were like, note to self a month from now or next year, and bringing into awareness how you talked to yourself um, during the holidays, how you're talking to yourself right now as you work through getting everything prepared and figured out, or if there's grieving that's going on, if you're in a different season in your life where you're not as active during the holiday season as you used to be. And to have some time to sit back and take some time for yourself today. So in the R&R session, I'm really glad that you claim this time for yourself and that you're using this time. And how we usually run the R&R sessions, if this is your first time, we start off with some guided imagery and move into some grounding and deep breathing, and then some chair yoga, basically chair stretches, and ending with a reflection. My name is Shelly Maxwell, and I'm a counselor with Wisconsin's Wisconsin EAP program, and Jen and I are. And we work with clients both in our offices, Jen in Menasha, and I'm in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And we also see a lot of clients virtually too. And if you have access to this R&R, that means that you have us as your EAP and you have access to free counseling. And that's one of the beautiful things about EAP is that it's of no cost to you. You have, you can call us and I'll share that contact info at the end of our session. So for to December, one of the ideas I had for today, I was thinking about this because I just led a workshop, a yoga workshop, because I also teach yoga here in town, and was doing a workshop on strength. I'm doing a whole series on using props to cultivate yoga practice. And what I usually do is try to turn certain phrases or terms that we use or have been conditioned to use and flip the meaning of it. And I don't do it, really yoga does. And a lot of spiritual traditions do. There's always paradox. Even Jesus, I mean, he really shifted beliefs and paradigms and brought in that paradox. And I was thinking about wanting to bring in today that sense of how are we talking to ourselves, kind of melding honoring ourselves and compassion, because I lean heavily on compassion in my clinical work with clients and even for myself with my family. It is just so transformative. And oh my gosh, it just opens us up in so many beautiful ways and is a lovely healer to depression and anxiety. So I was looking for images, to use for our time today, and I entered in honoring or honor, and I got a lot of like military phrases, like, or sports, like award, win, trophy, badge, prize, victory, as some of the keywords that were associated with honor. Of course, no images that fit what I was wanting to do. Then I look up connection because I'm thinking connecting with ourselves, connection, and I get network, collaboration, team. I'm like, okay, and it was all like IT, like fiber optics images. I type in inner calm, and then I get a bunch of images of Buddha statues. And then I came to self-talk, and these were the images that that came up. And I thought, this is interesting. It's one thing to read these images. I believe in me, dream big and make it happen, be yourself, self-care. I mean, they're legitimate. But before I started practicing compassion, when I would read these terms or even say it to myself, it was external. Like, like, okay, I believe in me. I've got to put a good exterior on, dream big and make it happen. Okay, I've got to make it happen. And it really didn't cut, I wasn't going inward too much with it, even be yourself. It's like, okay, well, who am I supposed to be? Right. And we certainly fall into this in the holidays, either with our people who've known us since childhood and expect us to be our old selves. They're not really acknowledging the ways we've evolved. We're not really thinking about how they themselves have evolved, even from the last holiday season, right? And so we've got that going on. And then we have what are the social images telling us that we need to be, right? And so how do we start cultivating the sense of self, like to go a little bit deeper with what it means to believe in ourselves, right? Or to be ourselves. When I was doing this workshop, one of the participants hadn't done yoga since COVID and had lost a lot of her strength, a lot of where she ended, just like when we get sick and can't exercise. And she kept saying, I feel so weak, I feel so weak. And that's what brought her to the workshop. And by the end, she was saying, when I'm shaking because I've held the pose, I now realize I'm not weak in that moment. My muscles are actually building strength, And so that when we're struggling, that doesn't mean we're not ourselves or we're messing up. It's like, ooh, this is where the development is really beginning, right? And continuing. What's the learning process? So thinking about ways that we can really go deeper inward, right? And cultivating this deeper connection with ourselves, because it's so critical when we are in the heat of the moment to treat ourselves like a friend, to extend to ourselves what we're extending to everybody else. If you can be generous and gracious to everybody else in that room, you need to also be that way to yourself, even when things aren't going to plan. Okay. So, some common self-compassion phrases might be, may I be kind to myself in this moment. May I accept this moment exactly as it is, not what you expected it to be or what you need it to be. May I accept this moment exactly as it is. May I accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. My God. So think about that. Believe in yourself and how that relates to, may I accept myself exactly as I am in this moment. May I give myself all the compassion that I need, right? So we get this sense of nurturing and growing the self. And when we're able to grow and nurture, that's when the growth happens. That's when the learning, that's when the behavior shifting happens. Because if we're criticizing ourselves, being judgmental of ourselves, now we're tight, we're not breathing, certainly our blood's not circulating, and we're in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. Now we're like, we've lost perspective too. And the whole goal is, how do we stay a bit more relaxed, even keel, rational, while also being like, ooh, that was a zinger that they just said, or, oh my gosh, the food does not taste the way I was hoping, right? Whatever, but we're being kinder to ourselves. So with that sense of kindness and nurturing, I'd like you to settle into your chair with your feet rooted into the earth. You really get a little bit more comfortable than you are already. And feel the rootedness, the sense of connectedness you have with the floor beneath you. And sense the connection you have with this chair you're sitting on. You might even look at it. You might look at the floor. You might look at the chair and be like, what am I actually sitting on? What does the floor actually look like? And that's a major strategy I use when I'm noticing that my heart rate is going up or that I'm starting to go into shallow breathing. Okay, because when our mind realizes the feet are connected and rooted into the floor, when we're anchored into our physical environment, as mindfulness, now we've redirected the alarm center, the amygdala, to stuff to sensory information that's safe and predictable, steady. And then we're able to take a deeper breath in. And so bring awareness to the belly as it rises and falls with your breath. Notice the texture of your breath, the sensations of your breath coming in and out through the nostrils. And maybe scan the body for any areas of sensation, tension. So releasing the jaw, the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let the arms and the hands, even the fingers, relax and rest. The shoulders drop away from the ears. And create a sense of softness through the whole body. The mind, the eyes, the temples, the neck, the throat. Soften the heart center, the front of the heart, the back of the heart. Let your abdominal area soften and relax. The glutes and the hips. And the legs are heavy. Allow your feet to completely release and relax, all the way down to the toes and the tips of the toes. Beautiful. When we extend ourselves compassion, we're able to rest and relax a little bit deeper, and we're able to be more fully ourselves with everybody else. And typically that's when we start to really cultivate that sense of inner strength. We've cultivated this inner peace, this inner kindness that is with us 24/7, that we can bring into any situation that comes. And I started saying when I was on mute earlier, that we can be creative problem solvers, and what compassion, when we're able to say to ourselves or our loved ones, it's okay. Let's just take a breath and we're creative problem solvers. We're going to figure this out. We can salvage this. Just like we had to salvage our session today, right? And what are some things, right, as we create this safer place within ourselves, now we're able to really listen to ourselves. We're able to listen when our heart rate is getting activated and we're like, ooh, I'm really nervous about this, or I'm feeling guarded around this person, or, think about the ways that you might get these subtle cues from your intuition, your instincts, from your gut, maybe from your heart. And instead of judging it and pushing it away, bring it in. Treat it like a really trusted messenger, right? And like, what does it have to tell you? And how do you honor that? How do you hold it as just a high priority as everybody else's needs? Okay, so as we do that, thinking about those original messages I found on Pixabay, where it's, okay, be yourself, self-care. And Kristen Neff, I've referenced self-compassion numerous times in these R&R sessions. Kristen Neff is the psychologist who's really developed it. She's got an awesome Facebook group, her website. She's got lovely, lovely resources. And if you all ever wanted to, I repost a lot of her stuff on my Facebook page, so you're always welcome to follow on Intentions LLC. It's just, we're really creating a shift in our society. And so I just encourage you to find ways to bring compassion in and to continue listening to yourself. So with that, bringing awareness back to the breath and using that diaphragmatic breath. And what I mean by that is, if you exhale, you're hugging the navel center in, so pressing it towards the back of the chair. And then when it's time to inhale, you release the effort and just let the belly balloon expand to the point where you might even notice the side ribs expanding, right? Because those bottom 3 ribs are not attached. They're meant to expand with the breath. And a lot of us engage in paradoxical breathing or reverse breathing, where we're pushing the lungs up into the bony rib cage instead of letting them drop down to fully expand. And that's what we want. So again, with the exhale, you're hugging the navel center in so the diaphragm can push those lungs up into the ribs and the collarbone area. And then when it's time to inhale, release the effort and just expand with the breath. Another time, exhaling and inhaling. And we'll start to move into our chair yoga. And I'm going to keep this, well, actually, I will stop presenting so that you all can see me better. So keeping with this idea of listening, let's keep our feet planted. I'm scooting to the front of my chair. I'm sorry if my video is a bit glitchy, so I apologize if that's happening on your end. And let's go ahead and just gently let the left ear come towards the left shoulder. Just kind of like you're trying to listen. You're trying to tune in, taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling. On the inhale, bring the head back to center. And on your exhale, bring that left ear back down, but just let it go on its own, no pressing or pushing it. Another time, coming up on the inhale. And on this third exhale, side out. Just release it. Support yourself, letting yourself know everything's good. I'm listening to myself deeper. I'm making that commitment to myself. And now let's go to the right. Exhale to the right. You can close your eyes and go inward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, down, bringing the ear towards the shoulder. And back up on the inhale. And on this third exhale, sigh out loud. And release. Good. Coming back up to center. Now we're going to come bringing our chin down towards the sternum. So exhale, just bow the head. And inhale, back up, letting your inhale initiate the movement. On the exhale, out and rolling forward. Inhaling, coming back to center. And on this third exhale, sighing out. And on your inhale, coming back. Close your eyes and listen to yourself. What do you notice? Beautiful. Now, feeling some groundedness through the sits bones, engage the navel center, pull up through the root lock, the area around the perineum, and bring your right knee in, maybe clasping your hands around the shin or the back of the thigh. And just hug it in. And then put the right foot down on the floor and lift the left leg. The left knee comes in. And continue to breathe. Really reach up through the crown of the head and exhale the left foot down. And now start to fold over the thighs. And when you do this, you're just going to drape the arms to the sides, the torso over the thighs. So we're partly putting pressure on that diaphragm, which strengthens it, but it gives an opportunity for the back body between the shoulder blades to really open up. Release the jaw and the temples. Let the head hang. There's no need to hold it or be looking up. Just close your eyes, go inward. Maybe think about drinking in the breath. Go a little bit deeper with the breath. Maybe if you want, you can move the head side to side like you're nodding yes and no. And then with the hands, either, down towards the floor or on your thigh, start to walk and turn the body over towards the right side of the leg. Feeling a nice stretch through the left side body. Again, releasing the shoulders, releasing effort. And then when you're ready, come to the other side of the body, the left side, opening up the right side body. And then from here in this folded pose, start to bring your right forearm across the top of the knees. Okay, and we're going to come into a twist here. So with that forearm, maybe even your right hand is holding to the outside of that lower left thigh. We're going to come to a twist. So the left hand can rest on your hip, and you're just going to pull that left shoulder back, bringing the heart towards the left. And then bring your hand onto your heart. And on your inhale, reach the arm back, that left arm. And let's do a couple of heart taps. So on your exhale, tapping the heart, inhale and open it up. Thinking about how we can receive and offer. And it actually works better for me to inhale when I bring my hand to my heart and exhale as I'm sending that energy out. Maybe even think about, what do you want for yourself these next couple of weeks? What do you want as we go into the end of the year? What do you need to offer yourself? How can you honor yourself? And then switch arms. This left forearm comes across the tops of the knees or the quad, and bring the right hand to the hip so that right shoulder and the right elbow really reach back. And we're twisting. So hug that navel center in. You could think about reaching the bottom of the heart forward, the crown of the head, and you could even look behind you. Bring the eyes, the face into it. And then bring that hand onto the heart. The right hand comes to the heart. And exhale, reach it open, feeling a nice stretch through the whole arm and armpit area. And when you're ready to inhale, bring it in. Bring in that beautiful energy that supports you. Exhale, share it. Bring it out into the world. We need that reciprocity, that reciprocal nature of giving and taking, giving and receiving. So move with your own flow here, your own flow of your breath. Good. And then next time the hand comes to the heart, come back to center and bring the hands, clasp them behind your back and fold over the thighs again. Maybe even reach the arms up away from the back. Let the chin come towards the sternum, let the head hang. And then with a sense of rootedness through the feet and the hips, engage the navel center and sit up if that's available to you, with the arms behind. Release the hands and do some shoulder rolls. Reverse direction. Good. Now inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, the palms face down as we exhale down. And we're going to inhale on a 4-count breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when we inhale, let's come up and then start to flick your fingers. So flicking as you lower and shaking the hands as you bring them up. And exhale again, flick those fingers. Good. Now with the left hand across the lap, reach that right arm up and over. Engage the navel center. And exhale, switching, the left arm reaches up and over. Really plant through that left sit bone and hip. Use it to send that arm right up and maybe over. Good. And come back to center. Close your eyes if you feel safe in this moment. And listen to your body right now. What is it telling you? What is it feeling? You can stay here for a few more moments. I'm going to read a poem. I switched out because my colleague shared this in our staff meeting today, and it was perfect. And so I replaced it. So I'll read this to you. And it's, she has the Facebook page, Butterflies and Pebbles is, and I was looking through and she's got some really wonderful posts. And she writes, SC Lori, go into this week with the attitude that your peace, your health of mind, and your heart mean more than getting everything else done. That your smile matters. That feeling rested matters. That holding the hands of your loved ones matter. So pause lots. Function at a pace that doesn't pull you apart. Honor the things that make you feel good inside, the things that make you feel alive. Give time to those things this week. Make time the gift it is by giving it to what really matters to you. Good. And so to close our time today, feel free to start wiggling your toes and your fingers, maybe coming back into the room. And I leave you with our contact information to reach us at EAP if you'd like any more info or support. For those of you collecting wellness points, the keyword for today was honor. And the next quote, with self-compassion, we give ourselves the same kindness and care we'd give to a good friend. And that's my wish for you all, that you treat yourself the way you treat friends and you be good to yourself. So look forward to seeing you all next month for January's R&R session, the first Wednesday from noon to 12:30. And hopefully we'll have Zoom figured out by then. So I appreciate you all. And I'm really delighted to share this time with you. So thank you.